The morgue was always too cold. June stood beneath the flickering overhead light, her arms crossed tightly against her blazer. The smell of antiseptic did little to cover the scent of what lingered underneath. Old death and processed grief. Dr. Caleb Carter, the forensic pathologist, slid open the drawer slowly. Inside, the girl's bones had been reassembled as much as possible. The rosary still clung to her brittle fingers, as though her spirit refused to let go. June didn't flinch. She studied the remains like a blackboard she once taught from. "Any ID yet?" she asked. Carter shook his head. No matches in any national registry. But he held up a photo, not of the girl, but of the rosary, a small engraving on the cross. STF 2139, serial engraving. I sent the code to a contact. He looked into it. It's custom made by the town's missionary school, the same one you'd taught at. It belongs to a girl registered as Sophia Namdi. Look, here's her photo. Dr. Carter pulled out from his pocketbook an old photo of a young black kid. But here's the strange part. He handed June a printout of a school database screenshot, withdrawn due to relocation to the UK. Officially, this girl never went missing. She left the country. June frowned. So who reported the withdrawal? Carter looked her dead in the eye. The Church of Divine Grace. Her corkboard was chaos now, caught in between conflicting patterns. How does she end up with the cross? And what does the number represent? Multiple questions burning in her mind. Newspaper clippings, maps of the town's district, timelines stretching across red thread. At the center, 3 names. Sophia Namdi, the girl in the grave. Dami Adideo, the boy supposedly burned in the fire. Is he alive or dead? Preacher-tongued Adideo, the man everyone reverenced. A 4th name lay off to the side, unconnected. Andre Williams, investigative journalist, suspended. Andre Williams looked like he hadn't shaved in months. His eyes looked like he hadn't slept in longer. He sat in the darkest corner of the bar, sipping on cheap beer and smoking a stick that never seemed to end. When June walked in, he didn't stand. "You've got nerve calling me," Andre said. "You're the one who published the preacher offshore accounts." She replied. He smirked. "They fired me for that. Now I sell gossip to tabloids. What do you want?" June slid the photo of the grave across the table. "I want to know why a girl who was never reported missing ended up buried under a church." Andre's smirk vanished. He lit a new cigarette. "You have no idea what you're stepping into, do you? Educate me," June whispered, leaning forward. He pulled a flash drive from his coat. "This has footage from the day of the fire, a cell phone video that was never aired." He stood to leave, paused, and looked back. "If you don't hear from me in 2 days, assume I've been silenced." The flash drive clicked into place. June sat alone in her apartment, curtains drawn tight. Her laptop, old but loyal, whirred to life. On screen, a grainy video, time-stamped May 22nd, 2014, 5:12 a.m. The screen showed the Adideo, residence engulfed in flames, but not from a kitchen spark. The blaze erupted from the back of the house, near a detached storage unit. A teenage boy, barefoot, blood on his shirt, stumbled from the building. and ran behind a tree. June froze the frame, zoomed in. It was Dami, no question. Blood on his shirt, terror in his eyes. But what chilled her wasn't his presence, it was his direction. He hadn't been trying to escape the fire. He'd been running from someone. In the far left of the frame, mostly obscured, a man in dark clerical robes stood watching the house burn, hands folded, unmoving. You were watching him run, and you let it happen, June whispered. She rewound. Frame by frame, her gaze tracked the figure in the robes. Then she saw it, the outline of a second person dragged from the burning building. A girl, small, unconscious, school uniform. Sophia? She whispered surprisingly. You were there too? Senator William Rick wore power like cologne. Loud, expensive, and toxic up close. He was Dami's godfather, a long-time silent donor of the Church of Divine Grace, and the man June needed to speak to next. She arrived unannounced. If you don't leave, I'll have my guards escort you out. You can try, but then I'll go public, with footage, names, dates, bodies. That got his attention. He waved the guards away and sipped his wine. What do you want? I want to know what happened the night of the fire incident, and why a girl was buried under the church's foundation. You were the last person to see Dami before the fire. William looked at her. You're digging in places that were meant to stay buried. Do you even know who the girl was? June narrowed her eyes. Her name is Sophia Namni, a student at the town's missionary school 10 years ago. A child. Murdered and hidden. Williams was shocked. Is that an English name? No, June replied. Her family moved here from Africa 17 years ago. For a moment the air stayed still, and then William leaned forward. His face darker now. I'm not sure about the name, but I know an African accountant that relocated soon after gossip of missing church funds. Nearly $1 million gone. And for the boy, he died in the fire accident. I don't know what happened after that. Dr. Carter called June back urgently. You need to come in. Now. She arrived within the hour. Carter looked pale. They found another body behind a drain pipe wall during a water project near the church compound. June felt her stomach turn. Who? No ID yet, Carter replied. How long's he been down there? 10 years. His hands were bound, throat slit.
For more interesting stories, please support us by tapping the like, subscribe, and comment button.